The small town of Ashwood had always been quiet, the kind of place where nothing ever seemed to happen. People went to work, kids went to school, and everything moved in predictable, easy rhythms. But that all changed when Lila Moore disappeared. Lila was just 17, a senior at Ashwood High with a bright future. She was a good student, friendly, with big dreams of going to college. No one could understand why she would vanish without a trace. Her car was still parked outside her house, her phone left behind, and there was no sign of a struggle. Her parents, devastated, called the police. Detective Dean Carter was assigned to the case, a man who had seen more than his fair share of disappearances. But Lila's case was different. There was something about her disappearance that felt unnatural. Carter went through the usual procedures, interviewing friends, searching her social media, asking anyone who might have seen something suspicious. But everything came up empty. Her friends all said the same thing. Lila was acting normal the day she vanished. There were no signs of distress or any reason to believe she'd run away. Then, 2 weeks after her disappearance, Carter got an anonymous tip. It was late at night when the call came in. The voice was muffled, distorted, but the message was clear. Check the old mill. The mill had been abandoned for years, a decaying building on the outskirts of town that no one really paid attention to anymore. Carter had driven past it countless times, but it had never seemed significant. Still, the tip was enough to draw him in. He arrived at the mill just after midnight, the air thick with fog. The place looked even more haunting in the dark. The windows were broken, the rusted sign swinging on its hinges. Carter's flashlight cut through the gloom as he stepped inside. The smell of old wood and mildew hit him first. Then he heard something, a faint sound coming from the back of the building. He moved cautiously toward it, the beam of his flashlight shaking slightly in his hand. As he rounded the corner, he froze. There, sitting in the corner of the room, was Lila. Her hair was disheveled, her clothes torn, and her face pale as if she hadn't seen the sun in weeks. Her eyes were wide, staring into nothing. She looked empty. Carter rushed toward her, calling her name. She didn't respond, her body stiff, like she was in a trance. He shook her gently, trying to snap her out of it. That's when he noticed it, her hands. They were covered in strange symbols, drawn in what looked like charcoal. The marks were not random. They were precise, intricate, almost ritualistic. "Lila, what happened? Who did this to you?" Carter asked, his voice shaking, but Lila didn't answer. Instead, she just pointed toward the back wall. Carter turned, his heart racing. There, etched into the old brick, was another symbol, this one far larger, covering almost the entire wall. It was a dark, twisted design, almost like a map, and in the center was a single word: Vanishing. The hairs on the back of Carter's neck stood up. This was no ordinary crime. He didn't know what kind of ritual he was looking at, or who was behind it, but he knew one thing: this was only the beginning. Lila had been taken, but not by anyone from this world. The symbols on her hands were a warning, and if Carter didn't find out who was behind them, the town of Ashwood would never be the same.